Boxo shares that his journey home was uneventful, but upon their arrival, they are met with a massive cloud of smoke enveloping the village. Despite the chaos, the director remains calm and composed. He apologizes, explaining that they must face another enemy. Lamis, filled with worry, bursts into tears, fearing for the safety of Manami and the others. Boxo understands Lami's deep connection to Manami and tries to comfort her, but his limited dialogue options hinder him. Lamis, understanding Boxo's language, realizes that he wants her to check the village first before assuming the worst. Filled with hope, she heads towards the village to assess the situation. As Lamis and the group enter the village, they witness the devastating state of the houses. Lamis rushes towards the inn, hoping it remains intact. However, her hopes shatter as she discovers the inn in ruins. Desperate, Lamis calls out for Manami and Mrs., but there is no response. Taking a deep breath, Lamis deduces that Manami and Mrs. must have evacuated to the Hunters Association. Determined, she sets off with Boxo to find out the cause of the trouble. Upon reaching the Hunters Association, Lamis reunites with her old associates, Karios and Gorth, who have already defeated the two-headed snake-like monster responsible for the village's destruction. Relieved, Karios assures Lamis that Manami and Mrs. are safe inside. Gorth talks about the well-protected transfer circle, deemed vital by the director. Boxo realizes that the hunter's success against such a formidable creature is due to the dungeon-like environment, equipped with high-level defensive weapons. Lamis finally reunites with Manami and Mrs., who warmly welcome her back after her long journey. Witnessing their joyous faces brings immense relief to Lamis and happiness to Boxo, despite his short time in the village. He realizes his growing affection for the villagers and his unwillingness to lose any of them, fueled by his previous near-death experience. To demonstrate his care, Boxo selflessly offers the villagers his food supplies for free, bringing them great joy and leading to a festive feast. As the villagers celebrate their victory over the frog fiend and the two-headed snake monster, Boxo cleverly points out that the snake monster is a natural enemy of the frog, resulting in both parties' demise. However, Boxo becomes disgusted upon discovering that the villagers are cooking and consuming the monster meat. Despite this, he believes that providing free drinks during the feast will ultimately attract more customers and generate increased revenue. In a drunken state, Lamis approaches Boxo to share her day's events. She expresses happiness and observes how everyone gathers around Boxo. Touched by her pure-heartedness, Boxo bids her good night, understanding her genuine nature. The following day, merchants busily prepare their shops, and carpenters work to repair the damaged houses. Meanwhile, Lamis visits the director, likely to receive recognition for her assistance during the expedition. As Boxo ponders Lamis' potential reward, she approaches him and reveals that the director has assigned her the task of rubble removal. With her blessing of might, Lamis begins clearing the rubble, while Burial invites her to join his hunter's team and offers to take in Boxo as well. However, Lamis declines, prioritizing her assigned duty. A woman named Akawi, claiming to be from the exchange house, approaches Boxo with an offer to trade silver coins for his saved-up gold coins. Although tempted by the significant sum of money, Boxo rejects Akawi's offer due to the lack of exchange capabilities. Lamis comes to Akawi's aid and devises a plan to use one gold coin to purchase a cheap item, forcing Boxo to return the owed silver coins. The plan succeeds, and silver coins continuously pour from Boxo, filling Lamis' bag. Witnessing this, the previous thief who tried to steal Boxo's earnings becomes greedy once again, prompting him to hatch a new scheme. Following the coin exchange with Akawi, Boxo decides to incorporate a gambling function. This addition leads to a 30% increase in earnings. An old man becomes addicted to gambling, losing his own fortune while making Boxo the most money. His wife drags him away, promising to give him a good scolding. The director calls for Lamis and Boxo at the Hunters Association, expressing gratitude for their assistance. He privately requests Boxo's help in providing food to combat the upcoming famine resulting from the village's destruction. Bear introduces Shirley, who informs Boxo about the potential diseases accompanying the famine. To control both the population and diseases, Boxo transforms into a family planning machine, providing Shirley with a product that hinders reproduction. Recognizing the product's effectiveness in containing diseases and population growth, Shirley purchases a significant amount to distribute in the entertainment district. Lamis carries Boxo back to the inn, and a cunning girl named Swarry attempts to provoke a fight by throwing rocks at Boxo. Sensing trouble, Boxo calls for assistance, and Swarry is apprehended by her own guards. However, she remains resilient and returns for another confrontation. To defuse the situation, Boxo offers her a free mango juice, successfully winning her favor. Later that night, Lamis brings Boxo to the newly constructed hygiene center, created by Shirley. In response, Boxo transforms into a beauty product machine and provides Lamis with a product that enhances her skin's radiance. A fox and a female bear approach, also seeking beauty products from Boxo to attract potential mates. Boxo concludes his day with high sales success. The next day, the old man returns for another round of gambling, accompanied by his granddaughter, whom he hopes will bring him luck. After teaching her the lottery game rules, the girl wins with a combination of 3 sevens, presenting her grandfather with the prize, a simple bottle of soft drink. Although initially delighted, the old man quickly realizes that he wasted the entire day on a trivial pursuit. However, his granddaughter cherishes the time spent with him after a long absence. The old man finally recognizes the value of family and happily returns home, marking the end of Boxo's gambling business. The director discovers Boxo's ability to hide his presence and blend in with his surroundings. He asks for a favor, requesting Boxo to turn invisible to help identify the recent culprit responsible for numerous secret crimes in the village. However, before the task, the director wants to test Boxo's capabilities and takes him before the Hunters Association. Boxo successfully becomes invisible, aiming to pass the test. Meanwhile, Lamis searches for him and learns from Manami that the director borrowed Boxo for the day. Determined, Lamis heads towards the Hunters Association after completing the rubble collection. After gathering the ruins of the houses, Lamis joyfully arrives at the Hunters Association, where she encounters Shirley. Curious about the director's whereabouts, Lamis informs Shirley that the director is currently occupied. Lamis wonders about Boxo's current activities after delivering the rubble. As she heads back, she encounters Swarry along the way. Engaging in a conversation in front of the invisible Boxo, Lamis scolds Swarry for her past mischiefs. Despite Swarry's insults, Lamis remains composed and advises her to stop being a brat. Swarry persists, expressing her desire to buy Boxo. Aware of Swarry's noble background, Lamis understands the large offer she might present. However, Lamis refuses to sell Boxo, explaining that he is not a mere tool, but a unique entity in this world. Undiscouraged, Swarry attempts to undermine Lamis, suggesting that Boxo would prefer spending time with her due to her good looks. Lamis counters by claiming she is a lot more attractive than Swarry, initiating a banter about who is more attractive. Ultimately, Swarry gives up and shifts to a serious tone. She asks Lamis if she realizes that Boxo is more than just a magical tool. Lamis admits her uncertainty, viewing Boxo as a human rather than a mere instrument. Boxo expresses gratitude for having such an understanding friend, and Lamis thanks him as Swarry departs. Bringing this episode to a close. Feel free to comment if you're interested in following more of this exciting series. Thanks for your time. If you stayed until the end, please like and subscribe for more anime recaps.